In an astonishing concurrence, two nations, formerly locked in layers of historical complexities and diplomatic intricacies, reach out across a dividing line. In a landscape far removed from the bustling urban life, against the backdrop of Pakistan's rugged southwestern Baluchistan province, two leaders converged to inaugurate a symbol of cooperation and shared prosperity. Before starting, make sure to click the like and subscribe buttons to stay updated with the latest content. Thursday, the 18th of May, marked a historical day for Pakistan and Iran's relations as the top leaders of both countries came together to inaugurate their first border market, giving shape to a burgeoning amity long awaited. This border marketplace in the remote village of Pashin marks the first step towards a broader vision. Under an agreement signed in 2012, this marketplace is the first of 6 proposed to be constructed along the meandering border that stitches the two countries together. The sight of these leaders inaugurating the marketplace signals the dawn of a new era, one where commerce and cooperation become the language of diplomacy. The day did not stop at the inauguration of a market alone. The duo, Pakistani Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif and Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi, also marked the beginning of an electricity transmission line. This line, symbolic of the energy bridging the two nations, is set to illuminate some of Pakistan's most remote regions with electricity, the lifeline flowing from Iranian power grids. In a meeting broadcast across the nations, Prime Minister Sharif, sharing the screen with President Raisi, pledged unwavering commitment to bolster security along the Iranian border. Emphasizing the commitment to bolster economic ties, Sharif extended a warm invitation to Raisi to visit Islamabad, the capital of Pakistan. The gesture stands testament to the newfound resolve to enhance trade and enrich the bond between these two nations, once seen as unlikely allies. But before this alignment, what did the relationship between Pakistan and Iran look like? A delicate balancing act between diplomatic necessity, regional influence, and international pressures. Straddling the shared border is a range of issues. Most prominently, security concerns stemming from cross-border attacks by Pakistani militants. This has indeed been a thorn in the side of their relationship, increasing the friction between these two nations. In the early years after Pakistan gained independence in 1947, Iran was one of the first countries to recognize it as a sovereign nation. The Shah of Iran, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, visited Pakistan in 1950, marking a strong start to their diplomatic ties. In the 1960s and 1970s, both countries enjoyed a relatively friendly relationship. They were part of two key alliances, the Central Treaty Organization, CENTO, and the Regional Cooperation for Development, RCD. The purpose of these alliances was to foster economic cooperation and to provide a united front against the spread of communism during the Cold War era. However, the dynamics changed after the Islamic Revolution in Iran in 1979. The Shah was overthrown and Iran became an Islamic republic under the leadership of Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini. This period saw a shift in Iran's foreign policy, which impacted its relations with Pakistan. The 1980s marked a tense period in their relationship, largely due to the Afghan War. Pakistan, backed by the United States, supported the Mujahideen fighters against the Soviet Union, while Iran backed the Shiite factions in the war. Further strain was added in the 1990s when the Taliban, a Sunni extremist group, seized control in Afghanistan. Given Iran's Shia majority and its support for the Shia minority in Afghanistan, this development pushed Pakistan and Iran further apart. Tensions flared up again in the 2000s over issues related to security and sectarian violence. Iran expressed concerns about the treatment of Shias in Pakistan and the activities of certain extremist groups based there. On the other hand, Pakistan was worried about Iran's growing ties with India, Pakistan's historical adversary. For years, small separatist groups have been instigating an insurgency for Baluchistan's independence from the central government in Islamabad. Baluchistan, a vast province in southwestern Pakistan, has been the site of a long-running insurgency. Its proponents argue for greater autonomy and a larger share of the province's natural resources. These agitations have created a ripple effect across the border, further straining the relationship. In recent years, Pakistani anti-Iran militants have also taken the conflict to the Iranian border, aggravating the tensions between these two neighboring countries. The militants' actions have led to numerous cross-border skirmishes which have put additional stress on bilateral ties. There was a significant development in 2013, a beacon of cooperation in a sea of issues. That year, the two nations managed to ink an agreement allowing Pakistan to import Iranian gas. This occurred despite the looming shadow of American opposition. Tehran's stance was firm and resolute, asserting that the West has no right to block the project. However, the agreement couldn't be implemented due to the imposition of U.S. sanctions on Iran, which added a new layer of complexity to the Iran-Pakistan relationship. Another crucial factor shaping this dynamic has been Pakistan's connection to Saudi Arabia. Pakistan has traditionally maintained close ties with Saudi Arabia, a Sunni powerhouse and a longtime rival of predominantly Shiite Iran. This necessitated a careful balancing act for Pakistan as it sought to nurture its relationship with both Iran and Saudi Arabia simultaneously. The recent thawing of relations between Riyadh and Tehran under a Chinese-brokered agreement does provide a glimmer of hope for more stability in the region. In essence, the relationship between Pakistan and Iran has been marked by a series of high-stakes challenges and careful diplomacy. However, recent developments, including the inauguration of the border market, show promising signs of a shift towards better cooperation and mutual understanding. This shift is seen as a hopeful step toward easing tensions, enhancing economic ties, and paving the way for a more secure and prosperous region. What does this alignment mean for both countries? This alignment between Pakistan and Iran has profound implications for both nations, affecting a wide array of aspects from economics and energy to security and diplomacy. For Pakistan, Iran has historically been a reliable energy partner. The energy cooperation was officially initiated in 1995, but the 775-kilometer Iran-Pakistan gas pipeline, fondly dubbed the Peace Pipeline, wasn't inaugurated until March 2013. This recent inauguration of an electricity transmission line is an extension of that partnership. With this, Iran will be supplying electricity to Pakistan's remote regions, which have been grappling with power shortages. This not only ensures a more stable energy supply for Pakistan, but also strengthens its grid infrastructure. On the economic front, this alignment can significantly boost trade between the two countries. The inauguration of the first border market at Pashin, and plans to construct 5 more along the border, is a clear indication of this. A substantial increase in cross-border trade could mean economic growth and job creation in border regions, which are often marginalized. This move directly addresses the trade imbalance between the two countries. As of 2020, bilateral trade was highly skewed in Iran's favor, with Pakistan's exports to Iran accounting for a fraction of its imports. Moreover, this alignment holds great promise for improving security along the border regions of the two countries. In recent years, both nations have been grappling with various security issues along their shared border, including drug trafficking and terrorism. Pakistani Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif's pledge to bolster security along the border is therefore significant. A secure border is vital for the smooth functioning of the border markets and uninterrupted energy transmission, and it will also contribute to regional stability. In terms of diplomacy, this alignment signals a warming of relations between the two countries. It's a step towards a more cooperative bilateral relationship, rather than one characterized by differences and disputes. Notably, Prime Minister Sharif's invitation to Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi to visit Islamabad emphasizes the intent to foster closer diplomatic ties. It's also in line with Pakistan's broader foreign policy objective of maintaining friendly relations with neighboring countries. In the larger geopolitical context, this alignment could also have implications for regional dynamics, particularly given the complex relations both Pakistan and Iran have with other regional players. However, the promise of economic growth, energy cooperation, border security, and diplomatic warmth indicates that both countries are keen on a more cooperative and mutually beneficial relationship. This new friendship between Pakistan and Iran is an embodiment of change and optimism. It signals the shared commitment of both countries to overcome historical challenges and work towards a future characterized by mutual benefit and cooperation. It's a testament to the power of diplomacy and the potential that can be realized when two nations, even unlikely allies, choose to collaborate for the collective good.